Now then, well, it's been a bit quiet in the vault lately. However, there was a couple of bits that came in over this past week, so I thought I'd do a quick video and show you what they are. Let's take a look, shall we? What's new?
In the vault.
So the stuff that's coming to us this week isn't the usual kind of stuff that we get in. So there's no collectibles, no toys or anything like that, but the bits and bobs that interest me and, you know, kind of butter my muffin, let's say. The first things I'll do it one at a time. It's a CD, and it's the Now Yearbook 76 Extra. I've been collecting this series of CDs since they started, but I've been keeping it to the 70s and the 80s because that's the music that kind of, you know, like speaks the most to me. And there's 3 CDs. There we go. Nice little fold out thing. And there's a total of 2, 4, 6. There's 63 tracks on there. Oh, that's the back of the packaging. There we go. No, that's the back. That's the front. I've just folded it. I haven't folded it up properly, have I? I'm a bit rusty. It's because I've not done one of these for a while. So yeah, so that's the first thing. Like I say, it's not anything that pertains to my collection, but it's something I do collect, and like I say, there's a fondness there for that kind of, you know, for that era and decades of music. The other 2 are again CDs, and I picked these up. These were to right a wrong that I did myself many years ago, and it's these. It's the Beatles Red and Blue albums. Not technically not actually proper albums as such. They're compilation, and like I said, they cover the years from 62 up until 70. I had these many years ago. I had them on vinyl, I had them on cassette, and I did also have them on CD as well. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea where my originals went to. I've hunted high and low for them, and I just can't find them. So, yeah, no idea. So I saw these on eBay, and I threw a $5 at them. Well, it was a bid, it was an auction. I thought, I'll do a $5. If I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. And bonus, I was lucky and I got them, and they're absolutely pristine. The listing on eBay was just like, they put okay, you know, okay condition. So chucking a $5 at them, I thought, well, you know, is what it is kind of thing. And yeah, they've come and they're absolutely pristine. There's not a mark on them. You know, the CDs are beautiful, the booklets are beautiful. So that were a win-win. Big Beatles fan, huge Beatles fan, have been for donkey's years. The first Beatles record I got was a gift. It was a birthday gift from my dad. On my 8th birthday, he bought me this Beatles record, which was like a movie medley. So it was all the music that they'd written for the movies that they'd done. And, you know, so there was like Help, Magical Mystery Tour, things like that. You know, there was all on there. So yeah, good record. I still got that record actually, by the way. So yeah, that was to right a wrong, because like I said, I did have the cassettes and vinyls and things like that. Yeah, they got binned when I moved and I went digital back in 2000 and was it 2002? Thereabouts, maybe 2001, 2002. It was the very early 2000s anyway. I went digital with all my music. You know, USB was a thing, and you can put your music on USB sticks and stuff like that. And I was like, I had the time I had, it was a Kenwood Hi-Fi, and it had like a socket in it, and you could plug, you know, the USB. And so yeah, so all my music was digital, and I thought, why do I need vinyl and cassettes? I don't need them, and it just all went bin them. So yeah, that's to right or wrong. I've gone on long enough about those, so I'll put those to one side. The other thing I picked up is this, and it's the gamepad. And the gamepad is what accompanies the Spectrum. Retro Games released a Spectrum. Was it last year or this year? It might have been last year. Back end of last year. Was it arse end of last year? I think it was November. May have been November last year. Anyway, they released this recreated Spectrum, which isn't really a Spectrum. I won't bore you with the details, but it's an emulation tool. It's not got the actual internal workings of a Spectrum. But they did this gamepad to go with it, so people who weren't good at using the keys or they didn't want to use a joystick, they had a gamepad to use. They have released this black version of the gamepad before, but it's in the white and red box, which accompanies the Amiga 500 Mini that they do. But this specific one is to match the Spectrum. So I picked that up. I had some vouchers lying about that were doing nothing, and it was cheap enough. Because they did, when they first came out, these actually sold out initially when they first came out. And they're only $19.99, they weren't expensive, but they sold out, and people were reselling them on eBay at like £40-50. And I thought, no, you can do one. I ain't doing that, I'm not suffering idiots like that. So the usual thing, I thought, bide me time, I've got lots of patience, I can wait. And then, like I say, they came back up again, $19.99. It won't get used. I'm not going to bother opening it up because I'm not going to use it because I'm a keys QAOPM. That's me. I'm keys. But I figured it'd be nice just to have it just to round off and go with that Spectrum there. And it looks kind of nice. It's a nice looking box, if you will. A bit glossy there as well. So that was the other thing. The main thing came in yesterday on Halloween, and I suppose you could say it's a bit spooky, but it's not, but it is, and it's this. It's the
45th anniversary
Pac-Man edition of the Atari 2600 Plus. This is lovely. I was on the fence about this, kind of in a way that I wasn't. I was on the fence in the fact that I would get it, but I wasn't sure when I was going to get it. But then I ended up thinking, balls to this. I'm going to buy it, so I might as well just get it now. And so I did. I banged the pre-order in a few months ago, actually. Got it from Smith's, and it released yesterday. And as good as the word, Smith's actually got it out to me yesterday. It was delivered yesterday, so I've had it fired up. I've had a little play on it, and it's great. It works exactly the same as the standard Atari 2600 Plus, which came out a couple of years ago now. I think, is it 2 years ago or 18 months ago? The only difference is it's yellow, it's Lello, and it's got a wireless. There we go. It's got a wireless controller. The box is lovely. I do like the box. So you've got the the packaging there with the console and the joystick. On the top, you've got the Ghosts and Pac-Man. On the bottom, you've just got all the bump. Nice yellow with black Atari logo there, and on the back, again, then you've got just all this stuff which ruins packaging, in my opinion. And then you've got screenshots of Pac-Man, and then the console itself. Because I've had this open, I will quickly open it and just show you the contents. Because I'm good like that. I don't mind doing these things for you. So when you first get it out, the console, it's got this nice dust cover, which is appreciated. I have some of these dust covers from a company that makes them for the Spectrum, and so my Spectrum's this, you can see just here, this has got one on just here. So I appreciate these, these hard dust covers. So I take that off, and there it is. Look at that. And it was all yellow. Lovely. Still got the orangey accent around the thing. The switches are yellow. The wood area, it still maintains the wood grain effect, but it's black. And then you've got the Ghosties and the Atari logo there. Awesome thing is, when this is plugged in and it's switched on, all this front bit lights up. So all the Ghosts, the Atari logo lights up and the Ghosts light up as well. That looks really nice. And just underneath, and then connecting things. So you've got your ports for the joysticks. The original Atari joysticks will work on this, as will original Atari games. HDMI out, which is a bonus. Your sorry, that side there, that's USB-C. Power in. and then you've just got your switches, which do your difficulty levels and things like that. What they've done is as well, this port here, they've made it just slightly larger, so when you put your cartridges in, they're not as stiff. Because on the original 2600 and the VCS, sometimes your cartridge could jam a little bit. Yeah, I do like that. The only thing I will say, which is slightly negative, is that because it's this yellow plastic, I mean, it does look nice. I'm not knocking it in that respect. It does look nice. I like the yellow plastic. However, because they've done the switches in yellow, it's made them look a bit cheap. They look a bit cheap and tacky just in yellow. I think what would have been nice is if they'd have just left the tops yellow, but then done the chroming around them and had them silver, or even black. Maybe black and then with yellow tops. I think that might have made it look a little bit better. Whereas it is, they just look a bit cheap like that. But other than that, no, it's solid looking, and I like it. I do like it. So just put that to one side there, and then the rest of the box, you've got this little box which has got the Atari and the Pac-Man logos, and then Pac-Man edition. And you can see it, just take it to the light there. You've got the Pac-Man maze embossed on the box, which goes all the way around, apart from the back and the tops. It's not on the tops and bottoms, so it's just on three of the 4 sides. Sorry, 6 sides. 3 of the 6 sides. But I like that. That's really nice. And in there, you've got the joystick and the game cartridge. I forgot game. Dramatic pause cartridge. Which is, there you go, comes in like a little cardboard slipcase. Now they've labelled this up for the 7800 because you get both versions on here. You get the main one is the 7800 version, which is more like the version you get in the arcade, and then the other version is the original Pac-Man that you got for the VCS, which a lot of people didn't like when it first came out back in the day, because they've been playing Pac-Man on the arcades and then they got the Atari, and it was like, this doesn't look anything like it. But it's still playable, it's still enjoyable. You switch between the 2 versions using the jumpers on the back there. You've got some little jumper pegs at the back, so you just alter those about and you can switch between the 7800 version and the 2600 version. It just shows you there how to do it, the back of the packaging. And then just carefully open this up here, because with it being such a nice box, you don't want to damage it. You don't want to. You need to look after when you've got a nice box. You know what I'm saying? That's just your USB charging cable for the controller. These are your wireless dongles, if you will, for the controller. So that one plugs into the back of your Atari, and it can also be used in an original VCS as well. And then that you can, if you want, you can plug it into a PC, or I believe you can also plug it into a console, like a PS5 or an Xbox. So you can use your Atari joystick on those. And just take that little sleeve off there, and there's the controller, the wireless controller. That looks great. I love the little touch of, on the top of the joystick, you've got a Pac-Man there. But that looks lovely, does that? It's a really, really nicely finished controller. Like I say, you got your charging port there as well, and then that's to sync it to your machine here. But yeah, it looks real nice. I do like that. I would have liked if it doesn't have them, but with it being a modern iteration, it's nice and stiff, and there's nothing. It doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. But I would have liked the sound of, say, maybe some micro switches in there, so you might click, 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 but it don't matter. It's just a minor thing, really minor thing. Just put that protective sleeve back on there and pop that back in the box. Them as well. Gotta put it back. It's I take it out of the box, it loses its value. There we go. Just pop that there as well. There we go. And then you've got this box here, which has all your well, I say all your cables, your 2 cables. It's got a HDMI cable, and it's got USB-C cable for the power supply. It doesn't come with a power plug. However, where did I put it? Oh, I think I've left it down over there, so I'm not going to bother going getting it. But if you have a USB plug and it's 5 volt, 1 amp, and that will power this. I wouldn't go anything over that because you risk damaging it. But that's all that's in that box is just the USB and the HDMI cable. And again, you can see on the box there, it's got that lovely maze pattern, that Pac-Man pattern, and it doesn't have it on the other sides. It's just on the front there. But that looks really nice. That like matte finish of black and then the gloss of the maze and the writing just makes it feel a little bit premium. And then the last thing in the box then is the manual for the game, which just takes you through how to do your dip switches and just also gives you information about the game and how to play it like we need to know how to play Pac-Man now in 2025. And that's it. I think I would have liked if they'd have done it flat pack, if they'd have done a box for the Pac-Man, so then if you wanted to display it in a box on your shelf rather than just it being in a cardboard sleeve in there, I would have appreciated that. That would have looked nice. However, I'm sure if you go to eBay or Etsy or somewhere like that, somebody will do reproduction boxes for them. I know they do reproduction boxes for all the other excuse me, all the other Atari games, which, you know, if you've got Atari cartridges and the boxes that you've got are a bit tatty, you can pick up these reproduction ones, relatively inexpensive, and they're great. They really do look the business. So that's it. That's what's new in the vault at the moment. Oh, let's just get us back up on here and we can finish off. So that's it, yeah. I'm repeating myself now. Yeah, that's it. That's all that it is at the moment for what's in the vault. I don't think there's anything else on the horizon in the meantime. There is some pre-orders that I've got, but I don't think they're going to be in for a while. And that's it. So I told you we're going to be brief and short. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing these bits. And I'll see you when I see you. All the best. Take care for now. What's new?
In the vault. Vaults of Aya Khan.